Lovely to see
of course,
you too.
Yeah, thank you for your come. Not just you, but also the people at home that are listening. You're more than welcome to get involved. 03717 2233 44. I have alluded to it. It's a monster of a weekend of sport. It starts at White Hart Lane. 12:30 tomorrow. Spurs take on Wolves. Live and exclusive commentary here on talkSPORT. I'm not going to go through everything we've got, but it ends on Monday evening, when Manchester United take on Liverpool. We're going to be discussing that. One of the biggest games in world football, certainly the biggest game in club football in this country. And sandwiched beautifully in between that, we have an unbelievable event, live and exclusive boxing for Saudi Arabia. Usyk takes on AJ in a heavyweight title rematch, and it's free. Don't have to pay a bean. Live here on talkSPORT. That is from 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Of course, you've got Game Day Live. Ada and the gang are doing all what they need to do as well. There's also a game, Bristol City on Sunday. They take on Cardiff. That's at 12 o'clock. You lucky people, you do not need to pay a bean for anything. It's live and it's free here on talkSPORT. Carlton, let's crack on with the show,
Yes,
matey.
mate.
Let's start with Manchester United, okay?
Yep.
Because it's been a bit of a disaster. I mean, there are other words I could use. You've watched it. I'm guessing you've seen all that's going on, even though you've been away. Yeah. I don't know whether this is you've caught up with this news, but Manchester United have about to complete and announce the deal for Casemiro, the 30-year-old from Real Madrid, rumoured to be somewhere between 60 and 70 million pounds. Yes, it stings. It's a lot of money. Ooh. I have to say though, he was probably, I thought, one of, if not the best player on the pitch against Liverpool in the Champions League. I thought he was outstanding.
He was outstanding.
He was just
he was
cool
the enforcer
head.
in there, and he was unbelievable. Word. Yeah, I watched it live. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to watch.
And I can see, you know, he's 30. But 30 now. When I played at 30,
30's the new 20?
Over the hill. 30's not quite the new 20. I'm not going to go back that far, but I'm going to go 30's maybe the new 26, 27, because players look after themselves now. Right?
Longevity. Look, when a 30-year-old nowadays, like when I was my 30 was. Well, actually, my 30 was 35 really. 35.
Okay. Well, our knees, we haven't got a decent pair of knees between us.
But now, yeah, I'd say 5 years the other way, 30 is the new 25.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what? When you look at it with Cristiano Ronaldo, look at him. He's almost 40.
I mean, that boy, the new 40 is 30.
So, and if people are looking at him as the benchmark, then people are thinking, I could get to 40 if he can too. He's a machine. He looks after himself. And most of these players nowadays, they're looking after themselves. They're not going out drinking like our days.
You look me up and down, Carl.
They're not doing the naughties. They're not doing the naughties. They're looking after their body. They're eating.
You did that.
They're eating right.
And you said our day. You shared the pain, not just in your day or our day.
No, but it was worse in your days though. Come on.
It was slightly worse in mine. I'm a little bit older than you. Things have changed.
But now, as I said, buying a player of that standard and that ilk will be good for Man United. But the only question I've got for it is, where's their future? I thought it was building for the future. Well, are they building for the future, or are they going to say, okay, he's 50, 60 million? Yeah, but 50, 60 million for a 30-year-old. Say, I know we're saying five years, like in it. There's 5 years, like they're the new 25 for a 30-year-old. But I'm just looking at it as like, you can't really build a future with a 30-year-old going on to 35.
No, and that, I think, is probably the route they didn't intend or want to go down, but it feels a little bit like they were forced.
So it's emergent. This is an emergency signing.
Well, panic buy is a phrase you often hear in the transfer window. It might not have been their first choice, but when you're buying the quality of Casemiro, the word panic buy I don't think you can use it for that. You're buying the finished article.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
You're buying. It's not.
There's no developing.
There's no developing. You're coming in. He's one of these players that's been around. He's incredibly experienced. Won 5 European Cups, Champions League, by the way.
So
we're talking about.
He's a legend.
So I think it's the sort of player United needed. 03717 2233 44. We're going to talk about that. We're obviously going to talk about. We'll speak to Anthony Crowler a little bit later in the show. Manchester United fan, about that big fight that we just spoke. Usyk, Joshua 2. We'll be building up to that. But we're going to talk Manchester United. In a word, can United get anything off Liverpool?
If they do, they'll be back in it. They'll just get their confidence up. And Liverpool are not looking in great shape anyway.
No, they're not. 03717 2233. Let's go speak to Vinnie, who's a Manchester United fan. Vinnie, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi there, Vinnie.
Oh.
All right, Vin.
Guys.
All right,
Hi,
Vin.
Big fan.
Nice one, geez.
Well, Right. No, I was just going to say, building up to the game on Monday, I think, what Jurgen Klopp said about Agbonlahor's comments. It just goes to show...
Yeah. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the show, Vin.
That's quite funny, that is.
That is very funny, yes. Yeah, go on,
Go on, mate.
I was just going to say how smart he actually is as a manager, because what he's trying to do is quite obvious. He's trying to manipulate the media, isn't he? Because, he's looking at the fact that he lost to Fulham, he's lost to Crystal Palace. Going into this game against United, everyone labeling them as the worst United team in history. Imagine he loses that game or draws that game. That's 3 games now against Fulham, Palace, and the worst United team in history. I think it's quite clear he's just trying to play down how bad United has been, so that it's a win-win for him. Because if he beats this United side, being labeled as the worst United team in history, well, people are just going to go, well, you've drawn the first 2, and you've just beaten the worst United side in history. But if he loses or draws it, then that's even worse. So I think it's a real smart play from him. He's trying to. He's already thinking about the possible blowback that this could cause.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I know he's playing mind games. He has to. That's the best managers in this league do, especially when it comes to that point where it's margins. So he's trying to get the mental aspect over his opponent, and I think it might work. But it might not work. But if it does work, it's a masterclass.
Well, they've not, Vinny. Look, I think you're right. I think there's definitely something in what you're saying. What I will say, however, I think that if you're a Man United fan, I think that there is something in this game you can get out of. I know United have been poor, and you got blown away in the first 35. In fact, it was 25 minutes. If you remember the first goal, 25 minutes, 4 goals. That completely blew you away. But Liverpool right now, they're a little bit blunt. They're not as sharp as they were. Clearly, Mane is missing. Yeah. They've had 1 or 2 chances. Nunez hasn't quite settled just yet. You can see how frustrated he got with the red card. He's got the red card, so you can see. But right now, Liverpool have got their own problems in the middle of the park and at the back. I just think it evens it up a little bit, Vin. A little bit. Can you or not? And
I think Klopp knows that as well. Yeah. That's what Vin's trying to say. Klopp knows that if they win that game, if Liverpool win that game, then it's going to be like, okay, job done. Yeah. But if they lose it, he's like, do you know what? He's going to get pelters, isn't he?
Vin,
so he's trying to play mind games before the game.
Vin, you know, 100%. Manchester United can go above Liverpool on Monday night.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. I think actually, I think Liverpool have more to lose.
Of course.
In this game, because United are already being portrayed as this, they were already down basically, and Liverpool coming at the back of a great season. They've got a lot more to lose, and then Klopp is just trying to level the playing field. Yeah. So that it's hang on a second, they're not that bad.
Yeah, right.
Vinny,
I think we do have a chance. Right. I think the fact that Liverpool drew the first 2 games.
So do I.
Do you know what, Vinny? Do you know what? You've changed in this conversation. You phoned up, mate. Honestly, you sounded dreadful.
Yeah, you did.
And now you got a smile on your face, Vin.
Yeah, it's more positive.
I can hear it.
That's what we do this is what we do to people.
I can hear it.
Jace, come on, positive vibes.
I mean, you have given me a little more hope here, Jace. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Vinny.
I wasn't expecting to get this hopeful.
Vinny,
Vinny,
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions now. When you came on here, your hopes of getting any result of Manchester against Liverpool between 1 and 10, 10's a positive, 1 is nothing. Where was it at?
1.
What are you now?
Yeah.
What are you now?
I'm thinking about a 6.5.
Oh man, that's what talkSPORT does for you, mate.
Vinny, listen, if you're off the back of that conversation, are there any Manchester United fans that think, do you know what? Listen to Cundy and Coleman there.
Yeah, they're onto something here.
Do you know what? I think there's a chance. We've turned Vinny and the complete other side. Our Liverpool fans coming on thinking, we'll beat them. And you're thinking, oh my God, Carlton just said that.
Jace just said that. I'm trying to put it on me.
03717 2233 44.